All right, guys, welcome to coaching session number one. Can everybody hear me? If you guys can hear me or see the screen, put a comment in the chat box real quick. Okay, cool. All right, I'm getting some messages now. Cool, thanks, guys. Screen is good. What are you guys seeing on the screen? Just a black screen? Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah, I've never used Zoom for a webinar either. Obviously, I haven't done any webinar stuff, so other than that first one that we were just on. So kind of bear with me as I learn this system. Again, hopefully you guys are prepared to go for a few hours tonight. I honestly have no clue how long this is going to take. The reason I'm kind of preparing you for this is because I want all of you guys to be able to set up your first campaign this week. I don't want you to have to wait weeks and weeks and weeks to the end of this course before you can actually get a campaign up and running and making money. I want you guys to be able to make money as quickly as possible, and also so that I can help you make money as quickly as possible. So again, questions, there is a Q&A section down in Zoom. I can see Alex already put one in there. So put your questions in there. That way they don't get lost in the chat box. And as far as being able to see other people's questions and stuff in the chat, I think that's a setting on my end in Zoom. I just don't have it set up right. So if you guys want to be able to talk back and forth to each other, let me know. I'll try and figure that out. Allow attendees to chat with. Well, it says that it's set. I don't know. Okay, people are saying they can see. Okay, cool. All right, let me see if I can share my screen and figure out how to pull presentation here. Let's see. Hang on just a second, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to get my screen ready. Trying to get everything put together for this lesson was a little overwhelming because there's a lot that I want to go over. So I apologize for not being prepared here. All right, let's see if I can put this in a new tab. Okay. Oops, wrong button. Okay. Hang on a second. Sorry, guys. All right, so a couple things here. This is I want to go through this quickly. What I want to cover tonight. I'm going to go over the quick start checklist. Like I said, this is make sure you guys are seeing this. All right, can you guys see my my presentation? Okay, cool. I'm just getting paranoid. I don't want to run this whole thing and then figure out you guys can't even see it. Okay. So the quick start checklist, I want to be able to, like I said, get you guys up and running as quickly as possible. And I could kind of reverse engineer this thing and break down each and every part of native ads and why it works, and explaining the psychology and everything behind the ad and the headline, and then at the end, actually show you how to set it up. But I'd rather rather do it backwards, because it actually lends itself to the whole kind of shtick behind my sales presentation that got you to join this course, because it is literally a copy and paste. You are just basically copying what other people are doing, pasting it into your own campaign and running with it. So I want you to be able to do that, and you don't have to know anything or why it works, or because you're just guessing anyways. You're not going to know why a headline is outperforming another one. So we're going to go over the quick start checklist. The next thing is the initial SPY. So, being able to figure out what campaigns are working and figuring out which one you want to go with yourself. From there, you want to set up your lander, and then your tracking, and then your campaign and your ad network. So those are all the things that we're going to go over tonight. And there's really a lot that goes into each one of those. At least there's a lot that goes in the lander and the tracking. And that's really where it's going to spend the most time tonight on the presentation, is kind of setting all that up. So when I get into all that technical stuff where I'm, setting up an offer there and then copying a link and pasting it over here, I don't want you guys to be overwhelmed. Realize that you have what I'm doing right now. You have this entire thing. It's being recorded. You're going to be able to rewind as much as you want later on, for however long it takes you to do it. You can, watch 10 seconds of the recording and then pause it, go do it, come back, play it for another 20 seconds, pause it, go do what I just told you to do. So that way, I don't want you to feel like you've got to rush around and do the same thing I'm doing as I'm doing it. I'm just squeezing this all into this first lesson to try and make it easier on everybody. So I just want you guys to be able to set it up and start making money as quickly as possible. So the quick start checklist, these are the things that, a lot of people have been emailing in and asking me, what do I need? What are the basics of everything that I need? And really it comes down to basically 4 things: your ClickBank account or another affiliate network, depending on what you want to promote. A tracking platform. Volume is what I recommend. Volume is going to be what I'm using for this entire training. So I'm going to show you step-by-step how to use Volume. And you need an account at an ad network. I recommend MGID. Rev Content is another good one. Basically, any native ad network would work. They're going to be similar in how they work, similar in setup. There are differences, and probably in future lessons or future coaching sessions, I am going to show how to do Rev Content, and I might do Taboola too. It just depends. So, and the last thing is, you either need a hosting account, a regular web hosting account, or you need to use a landing page builder like ClickFunnels. If you're doing hosting, if you don't have either of these, but you don't want to pay for ClickFunnels, which is I think about $97 a month, I'm going to show you what I do. And I should have took HostGator out of there. I was going to recommend them, but honestly, by the time you pay for like the cloud hosting, which is really what you need, you end up being $20 a month. And it's really not even good. It's not as good as what I recommend is Cloudways, and it's more of a managed type server where you get really, really, really good server speeds and all that for a very small portion of the cost. So let me make sure here we go. All right. So remember, guys, if you've got questions, there's a Q&A box. Put those questions in the Q&A box, and I will get to those eventually here tonight. Depending on how long this takes, I may end up, somebody recommended, if we get into like 3 or 4 hours, kind of splitting it in half, take like a 10-minute break in the middle. That way we can kind of refresh and gather ourselves, get a drink or whatever, and then come back in 10 minutes. So I'll probably do that because I think I'm going to be running pretty late here. So about 9 o'clock, I'm going to try and squeeze in a break. So the first thing is the initial SPY, and this is where we start using the Anstrex tool. If you go inside of the members area, you'll see a link inside that members area where you can, and you'll get the coupon code inside of there as well. If the coupon code isn't in there yet, feel free to shoot me an email and I'll get that code to you. It'll be added in there very shortly. So let me see if I can just pull up Anstrex over here. That didn't work. So actually, if you just go to anstrex.com right now, and I don't really know if it shows up for everybody or not, but right now they even offer a 20% lifetime discount right there. All right, so I am logged in, and I'm going to kind of blow through this pretty quickly. I'm not going to go through all the different tricks of using this thing right now because I just want to show you the basics in finding campaigns that you can copy off of. So I'm going to narrow it down to ClickBank. So I'm going to go to Affiliate Network, ClickBank. So this is only going to show me people that are running ClickBank ads, so ads that are selling or promoting ClickBank products. Then I'm going to narrow it down by ad network because I know I'm using MGID. So I can see everything is MGID and ClickBank. See the orange and the white. Next thing I'm going to do is, where are we at here? Sort by. I'm going to do date last seen. So I want to make sure that I'm seeing recent things, meaning things that are still working. And then I like to do ad strength. I like to sort it by a little higher ad strength. Some people, you know, in other tools like AdBeat and there's a couple other native spy tools, some people like to do by like number of days it's been running, which is also a good one. You know, see the most here is 59 days running, so you can adjust that if you want. But I like going by ad strength because it's kind of a combination of different things. So days run, the amount of people that have seen the ad, and then kind of the growth of the ad over time. So let me just start here around about 100. I don't want to cut too much out here. So you can see now these are all July 5th. Date last seen July 5th. This one is date first seen was November 3rd. This is customized fat loss for men. So if I click this title right here, you could kind of see, looks like this one is just a straight direct link. There's no landing page there. So I could see, you know, if you click this button, you can see it goes to, this is a straight ClickBank sales page. You can tell it's a ClickBank sales page because of the disclaimer at the bottom. And then, let me see if I can find a decent one here. I'm trying to find one with a good landing page. So yeah, here's a good one. So you see this, if you click full screenshot, that actually shows you an image, like a screenshot of the entire landing page. And visit page takes you to the actual landing page's URL. Offer screenshot is a screenshot of the ClickBank sales page. Offer page is the actual ClickBank page. So I'm gonna see if I can visit the landing page. Sometimes these links don't work, but we'll see. So this is the landing page for that one. So if I click through here, it's going to take me to the flat belly fix. And I know this is a good product. This is actually one of the ones that I promote. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you how to do. We'll use this one for the example. So an option that they have here, it's called download and deploy. And I've tried this before, and it, you know, it works pretty good. You just got to just make sure that you're getting the right stuff, as all. So they want you to click through like what I just did, make sure that the landing page is the one that you want. So we'll go back. Then click OK. So you can see download is starting. Then you can go back and kind of do whatever you want from here. And then there's another section where you can go to view your downloaded, your downloads. Status edit. So I think it means that yeah, it's already done. So from there, you can, you can actually edit things right inside of here. If you wanted to just do it like that. So I could change this to oops, video or whatever I wanted to change it to. If I want to change this guy's name, you can change stuff like that. And then when you're ready, you're happy with those edits, you can go to save. And then minify just means it takes all the files and it takes all the code and it like crunches it digitally so that it makes it as small as possible so that it loads as fast as it possibly can. Problem with that is it makes it hard to edit it on the back end. So I don't like to do that. It doesn't, on a page this small, it doesn't really do a whole lot. So from here, you can just click zip and download. And you can see it's downloading down here and it's already done. So I'm just going to go ahead and open it from here. So now we're kind of transitioning from the spying phase straight into the lander setup. Again, if you got questions on Anstrex or any of this stuff that I just showed you, I remember I told you I'm going to blow through this because I've got a lot to cover and I don't want to keep you guys on here for 5 hours. But you could literally spend 5 hours, blowing through all this stuff. You can see the lottery campaign here that I gave you guys away for free on that webinar. Lottery. There's tons of guys running this campaign, and because it works. So there's other stuff in here too. This customized fat loss guy, Bitcoin offers are converting pretty good. Just spend some time going through there. But again, if you got questions, go ahead and put them in the question box and I'll get to those. So let's keep moving along. And I'm going to show you the landing page setup. Trying to think of the easiest way to do this so you guys can see it on my screen here. Let's see. Okay, this is the file I just unzipped here. So these are all the images, and this is the landing page. So what I normally do is I put these in, I edit them in Sublime Text. And Sublime Text is a program for Mac. I'm not sure if it's for other programs or not. You just basically need any kind of an HTML editor. There's free HTML editors online. You can actually just like open this file in one of the free ones online if you want to edit it. So what I personally recommend, I know you guys are going to ask what program should I use? For PC, I like Notepad++. For Mac, I like Sublime. So, and this is for setting up an HTML lander. If you plan on using ClickFunnels, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to sit through this because I want to be able to show this to the people that don't want to pay $97 a month and would rather pay for hosting and mess around with their own landers, which is really what I do most of the time. ClickFunnels is great and I love it. But sometimes I like to get in there and do some PHP stuff or some other things like that. All right. So I'm going to open up Sublime here. Close that. And all I'm going to do, and you probably can't see this on here, but all I'm going to do is drag this downloaded folder, this folder that I just unzipped, and I'm just going to drag it right into Sublime here. And then from here, I can double click the index.html. You can see this is like a whole big block of code. So if you wanted to edit this, the time to do that, it was inside of Anstrix. The things that you're going to have to edit, and we're going to have to edit them later on, are actually basically just the links going out, like the button at the bottom. See if I can find one. So this right here is they're using volume, I can tell by the link. This, you're going to have to change this to your link, and this is basically your tracking link. And this is going to be in here a couple, 2-3 times somewhere. And then another one up here. So that's really the only thing you have to edit on these landing pages, like as far as code goes. But if you're using something like Anstrix, you could do that right inside there. Let me flip back over to Anstrix real quick and just see what I'm talking about. Where was that at? Yeah. So the download and deploy. So you can see it's downloading. And I don't know where you get your, if you go back. Web page downloader, that's it. So you click web page downloader from the top right, you can get back to the screen. You can just click back through there and click the edit button. Then you can manually go in and edit these. So I believe this is linked for some reason. So you can click edit link and change the link right there. And then I don't remember if the image is linked. Yep, so the image is linked. And then obviously this button, which actually, I don't know. It's really not the text, it's the button, but that's fine. So you could actually change you could edit everything right there. You don't even have to mess with Sublime and all those other things. That makes it a lot easier. So from here, once you're happy with this, and again, this isn't the final page because we got to set up tracking. And once you get your campaign set up, then you'll be able to put that tracking link. You'll be able to come back in here and put that tracking link in there. So I'm not going to upload these to a server yet. What I'm going to do is show you the server that I use. And let me see if I can, I don't know where the heck I have that. There it is. Okay, so this is Cloudways. Cloudways, I don't even know how I stumbled onto this, but I did somehow. It's actually very confusing if you don't know anything about hosting. And honestly, I don't even want to explain much of it to you. So just realize that it's a cloud hosting service, and they call it a managed cloud hosting because if you had to manage this yourself, you have to go in and edit a lot of things like in the terminal, and it's basically a managed server. And they make it kind of really point and click easy to set it up. So what I did was I actually just went in and created a second account so I could kind of show you guys from the start how I do this. So right now, this is the kind of the start of a brand new account. I just put my credit card in. And the most that I've ever paid for this is $50 some a month, but I'm talking, 50,000 visitors a month to this server is 50 bucks a month. You can't go to like a SiteGround. SiteGround's a pretty popular cloud hosting service. Their cheapest cloud hosting package is 80 bucks a month. So starting out, you could probably start out with like $10 a month. So I am going to first create a server, and I'm doing this now because sometimes it takes like 15, 20 minutes for them to set it up. So I'm going to set up server, go to custom PHP. I'm just going to name it test, actually do demo. That makes more sense. This is basically just for your records. It's not shown anywhere. Let's call this demo 1. I pick Vultr. You can see down here what your monthly price is as you change stuff. Honestly, with these landing pages, you really don't even hardly need that. So it'll like if you approach your limits, they'll email you and tell you, hey, you got to bump this up to 2. So just start it at 1. Location doesn't matter. It's just basically the server location. You can pick a couple different places here. It doesn't matter though. These things are really fast. So I'm just going to click launch now. So you can see 13 minutes. So I'm going to let that work in the background, and let's see. I'm trying to think of the best way to kind of the next thing that we can touch on here. Maybe we'll look at a couple questions. All right, yes, this session is being recorded. Which native ad platform is affiliate friendly? Rev Content and MGID both are both happy to invite affiliates in. Taboola, Taboola doesn't care as long as you follow their policies. They're just a little bit more strict than the other two. I suggest MGID to start. Does it help if we already have a Anstex account set up? Yeah, that's totally fine. You don't have to wait for me to do that. The bonuses. So the bonuses, I'm still trying to get the list together. I have all of the data, so basically I could go back and see. A couple of you have asked me, and I told you you're number like 15, you're number 4. I just got to be able to pull that out and separate it into different lists, and then send you guys the access info. I hope to do that tomorrow morning, so I will try my best to get that done tomorrow morning. All right. So can you show exactly which plan you select over at Cloudways? I'm basically doing that now, Alex. It's not really a plan that you're picking. All I did here on the Cloudways site is click start for free or start free, which I'm already logged in, so they're not gonna. I clicked start free, and I think from there it just takes you to like a registration page, enter email address, that kind of stuff. So I didn't pick any kind of plan. The selections all happen inside of your account, like I'm showing you here right now. How about Amazon for hosting? Absolutely, Amazon. You saw in there in, let me go back to this. Amazon's actually one of the options for hosting inside of Cloudways. So if you already have Amazon, absolutely. Connie's asking if I use Cloudways. Yep, I've got 2 servers with Cloudways right now. So I said I'm paying like $60 a month because I've got 2 servers and I'm getting a good amount of traffic to them. But on one server, you can put multiple websites. All right, Richard's asking if we could simply download successful landing pages from Anstrex. Is there any advantage in using ClickFunnels? That's a great question. The advantage is ClickFunnels is a host too. So they actually you're paying for hosting and you're paying for the landing page building, all of the tools that they provide with you for you for $97 a month. So it's kind of up to you, Richard. If you don't want to do that, then just do what I'm showing you now how to do. Just set up one of these Cloudways servers. You just have to be comfortable with dealing with what I'm going to be showing you here, uploading files. Doing it this way, you don't get any kind of a cPanel. I don't think that they have a cPanel option. You've got to do it all through FTP. But again, I'm going to show you guys how to do that once this is set up. Rita is asking, do they give you recipes or do you pay for them? I guess I'm not. Hey, Rita, can you kind of elaborate there? I'm not sure what you mean by recipes. Can't we just edit our lander inside Anstrix? They have a way to go to code. Alex, absolutely, for sure. You don't need any kind of code reader or text file editor or any of that stuff. You can do it from there. I just showed you the two that I use on my computer because I kind of start with those templates anyways, and then I build them out if I want to add some things to it. So Alex asked, when you go into Cloudways, there's a ton of options, including Vultr, DigitalOcean, and a bunch of others. Which one do we choose? You saw I recommended Vultr. That's usually the one I go with. If we use ClickFunnels, can we still use the download and deploy facility from Anstrix to import the page? No, Richard. The only way to use ClickFunnels basically like easily is I'm going to give you share links, but then you have to go into ClickFunnels and edit them. It's kind of the second part of what I'm going to show you here with the landing page setup. Any copyright issues related to downloading landers? John is asking. You know, it really depends. Like I said before in the webinar, like the lottery, the guys that are selling the lottery product on ClickBank, they actually give you those images. That guy with the weird hat on, that's their image. So that's not even, image isn't a problem. And the page itself doesn't even have a copyright on it. You know, if you go to inside of Anstrix and you go back to that landing page, there's no any kind of notice for copyright or anything like that. I wouldn't download it and use a copyrighted page just because it's probably got, you know, proprietary information. Most of these are like other affiliates pages, and you're not ever going to know whose page is whose, honestly. Would you go into details how to choose good performing ads from Anstrix? Basically just what I showed you. That's honestly what I do. Let me go back in there. Oops. Okay. So from in here, like I said, you already know that you're, let me refresh this. It's messing up here. I already know that I'm using MGID. I already know that I want to promote ClickBank products. And the way that you figure out the best ones is to sort them by date last seen. That way you know that they're still running or have been very recently running, so that they're still effective and working right now. From there, I choose ad strength. So I go to, it's usually set at 0. I bump it up to, I like about 100. And then from there, I can kind of look and see based on these gravity and ad strength numbers, I can kind of tell, you know, which ones are working the best. You can also see countries too. So, you know, if you only want to pick a certain country, pick that country from in there. Well, those are the basic things that I look at. If it's been running, like this one here has only been running for 1 day, I don't want to go with that one, right? So this one here has been running for 2 months. That's a great one to go after. They wouldn't be paying for traffic for that for 2 months if it wasn't working and profitable. That's basically how you pick out the good ads. All right, will you be giving us a list of all the things that we need to get and buy? That's basically, Rita, what that was. at the beginning here, this checklist. So these are basically the things you need. You need a ClickBank account or another affiliate network. If you want to pick a different one to promote, that's fine. Tracking account at Volume, an ad network, I recommend MGID, and you need either hosting or you need a landing page builder. So you need to use the Cloudways option or the ClickFunnels option, like I told you before. All right, what else do we have? Yeah, Alex, you're saying stuff about the plans on Cloudways. Yeah, you don't have to pick any plans. Just sign up for just click the start free button. And then when you choose when you create your server, that's when you can pick the different options like I showed you. Why do I need 2 servers? Connie is asking. I don't need 2 servers really. I set it up that way just so that I wouldn't be using all of the resources in one place. You know, I want kind of to separate the resources from the server. All right, let's go back to Cloudways here and take a look at how that one's coming along. Too many desktop things open here. All right, so this one is set up now. The demo is set up, so I'm going to click inside here. So this is basically where you get your information for your FTP. So from here, I use FileZilla. Can you guys put in the chat box if you can, what you're seeing on the screen right now? I've got a couple of people having issues. All right, does it say FileZilla? Okay, cool. Okay, so from FileZilla, so FileZilla is a free program, but it works on Mac or PC. You can download it. It works on either one. And from here, you can just click on New Site. Then I'm going to name it Demo 1. And I'm going to go back to Cloudways, and I'm going to click to copy the public IP, which is basically the server's IP address. Click, there we go. And you put that in the host spot. And I'm going to go back. Username, I'm going to copy that. And username, you have to change this to normal. Username goes in there. Next thing is the password. I'm going to copy the password, paste it in there. And I think that is it. So I'm going to just click connect. And yeah, we'll abort that for now. All right, we'll wait and see what happens here with this connection. Sometimes it's, yeah. Never fails though when you're trying to do technical stuff on a live training that something doesn't work out right. That's just the way it goes. Sometimes too, these things, even though it says that it's ready, it takes a little while for it to get set up. So basically when you're in Cloudways, a way to navigate around in there. You go to servers, demo, master credentials is where you get the FTP information. All right, so I'm just going to copy. I think I entered the wrong password there. I didn't get the whole thing. Oh, maybe I did. It's not very long. Actually, it needs to be, that's what it is. See where it says SFTP? That's actually a secure FTP, and I have it set to regular FTP, so you have to change that. That's probably the problem. So yeah, you'll get this pop-up, unknown host. Just click always trust, click OK. There we go. So from here, this is kind of a little brief explanation of FileZilla. The right side of the screen is a remote site, which is basically your server. The left side of the screen is the local site, which is basically your computer. So this is all the crap on my computer. And what I'm seeing down here is the Lander 2 folder, excuse me, from inside the work from home newsletter folder. So if I just click this two dots, double click it, I mean, you can kind of go back and navigate through this way. So I'm going to stay in this one. I'm just going to kind of use that as the example. So from here, and actually I haven't even connected a domain name. I need to do that. I haven't used this that much, so again, you can just pay attention while I fumble around here and find what I'm looking for. So actually, yeah, that's what I did. So domains, use Cloudflare. Cloudflare is kind of it's a hard tool to describe, but they basically take your domain from the place you bought it from. I usually buy most of mine from Namecheap, and you point it from Namecheap to here. So if you have a domain, let's say your domain you bought from GoDaddy, you have to go into GoDaddy and change the name servers to point it to Cloudflare's. And it's very easy to do from Cloudflare. They explain how to do everything. You just click add site and you put your domain in there and click add site, and then they'll give you the directions on how to change it from inside of GoDaddy. It's literally copying and pasting basically two URLs. That's what it looks like. So once it's ready inside of Cloudflare, sorry, copy. This is the server's IP address. That's really what you want to point this to. So from here, I want to point it to that new server that I made. So basically, so when somebody just types in this workfromhomenewsletter.com, it's going to get redirected to this IP address, which is my Cloudways server. And I have my Cloudways server set up inside of FileZilla so that I can just upload files straight from my computer to FileZilla. So to do that, you double click applications, and this is kind of like a little separate folder, and then public HTML. Now we're inside of this is basically the home page of my work from home site now. So what I'm going to do is take trying to think of the best way to do this. Yeah, I'll just take what I downloaded for right now. Close. All right, so I'm going to go do it this way so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So I need to get to my downloads folder. And last modified here. I'm just basically trying to find the folder that I just downloaded. Here it is. All right, so these are all of the files from inside of that folder. So I'm just going to upload everything. Actually, for first, I'm going to make a new folder on my server. So it's going to be workfromhomenewsletter.com/belly fat, because that makes sense. And I'm going to open that up so that I upload all my folders straight over there. Not sure what's in this. There's nothing in that file, so I don't need to upload that. Those are text documents, but font files. I don't need those, but oh well. So I just highlight them all and then click and drag them straight over. So I'm basically taking it from my computer, uploading it to my server. So now everything should be up there. The only thing is that my domain may not be pointed over there yet because I set it up through Cloudflare. Sometimes that, I mean, that could take 24 or 48 hours, but a lot of times it's really quick. So that could work from home newsletter.com/bellyfat. Oh, it's there. So that is how you upload, basically go from nothing to a landing page and a hosting account in a matter of minutes. So again, we'll have to change these links. I'll have to change these links because I didn't change them before I downloaded them. But we have to get into the tracking before we can start that up. So let me see what we got going in the chat and the chat's good. We've got questions here. Can you use Weebly for creating landers? I would advise against that, Mario. I'm already using GoDaddy for hosting. Can I use GoDaddy rather than Cloudways? Will that work for this? Absolutely. Just be mindful of your bandwidth and your server size and all that stuff. These landing pages don't take up much of anything as far as storage goes, but for bandwidth, if you're driving thousands of visitors a day to your site, they may not like that. So if you're on like a shared hosting with GoDaddy, they may end up like draining your bandwidth and like kind of funneling it down. So just keep an eye on it as well. You want to have a quick load speed with your pages. Otherwise, people aren't going to wait around for it to pop up and you're just going to waste money on clicks. The SiteGround work for this. This is who I have. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, SiteGround is who I also have for other projects, and it's what I used for a long time until I started using Cloudways when I started getting into like PPV traffic, where you're getting like 10,000 visits a day or even 100,000 visits a day, because it scales so fast and the pages load so fast. But SiteGround will work for this. And if you have like a cPanel, anything with a cPanel is easy to use too. I just pulled this one up for the heck of it so you guys can see. Click on File Manager and click on Work from Home Newsletter or any of your other sites. It'll pop open something like this, and you can click Upload, and you can choose File straight from your computer that way. So you don't have to use FTP if you don't want to. So if you have something with cPanel, that'll work fine for that. On the screen, you showed an ad showing how older people can lose weight. How do we get info on this? That was all from Anstrex, Rita. If you just go into Anstrex, You can search for any keyword too, just type in something, or just browse, spend an hour or two browsing around in there. Which plans should we choose on Anstrex? There are 3. Trisha is asking. I recommend the most expensive. I don't remember why. Probably because of the history. Let me see if I can pull that back up with their. Probably won't be able to go to their homepage now because I'm logged in. Let's see. Oh yeah, pick the $59.99 because it has 20 ad networks. So the ad networks are important. These only have one country too. You want to know what's working in all the other countries as well. I mean, for $10 more a month, that's worth that kind of data. Yeah, this other stuff isn't as important, but those things on the up top are definitely important. So I'd go with this $59.99 a month. Do we need to set up separate domains for each offer we do, or can we just use subfolders on a single domain? Richard, I like to get like generic domains, and that way I can kind of drive traffic to any offer and just put it in a folder on that domain, a separate folder. Because kind of like what the example I just showed you, workfromhomenewsletter.com/bellyfat makes no sense, but honestly, it doesn't matter. People aren't really paying that much attention to the URL. So I like getting one domain. That's perfectly fine. So that kind of answered that last question too from my ink. So Alex is asking, basically the ad strength of most ClickBank ads on Anstrex offers pales in comparison to the ad strength of some ads on other networks. Have you tested anything besides ClickBank? Yeah, I do CPA offers quite a bit, but I don't want to use those in this because it tends to be more difficult. Not so much because of the setup, but knowing what to copy. You don't want to copy an affiliate's landing page for multiple reasons. So to answer your question, yes, this works for any offer. Being able to use Anstrex, it works exactly the same. Doesn't matter what the affiliate network is. Okay, guys, if you have more questions on landing pages like the HTML and the using your own hosting setup, put those in the box. I'll get to them in a little bit. For now, I'm going to move on to ClickFunnels, the ClickFunnels side of the setup. So I have a share folder. I'm sorry, a share link somewhere. Here it is. So I'm going to put this. Trying to put it somewhere where you guys can click it or copy it or something here. Hang on. All right, I just put the shared link for ClickFunnels into the chat box. If you don't have a ClickFunnels account and you click that link, it should take you to a page that it basically shows you. Actually, hold on, I can kind of show you what it looks like. Do it this way. So I click the link, and it's taking me to basically a page for ClickFunnels to sign up for a free 14-day trial. But you notice down here, this is basically this is my funnel, my ClickFunnels funnel that I'm sharing with you. And you can preview these by clicking on them. So these are the 2 landing page templates that I use almost for every campaign. And they are very similar in conversion rates. I've been noticing lately on mobile that that this one is actually getting higher click-throughs, but they are both very, very good. So if you don't have a ClickFunnels account, you'll have to basically enter your name and email, and you can start a 14-day free trial. And then it should automatically put this funnel into your account, and it'll kind of just throw it up in here. It'll put it like in the shared, or I don't know, you'll see it in here somewhere, and it should say native ad templates, just like this one. It might have like a prefix that says shared or something. So this is, sorry, my, all right, sorry about that. So the native ad templates is the shared. And all I did was copy the native ad templates funnels so that I could use it in this demonstration. So I'm going to open that up. And these are the two landers here. The one that we were using. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, good. Yeah, the dogs were barking, so I was covering my bike up to try and numb the pain for you guys there. All right, so lander one is what we're gonna go with here. So I'm just gonna click edit page. So this is exactly how it should look in your ClickFunnels account. Right now, it's just like this. All right, so from here, kind of had to make do with what I could. I had to make this an image up here. So if you wanted to edit any of this stuff, you're kind of out of luck as far as the ClickFunnels stuff goes. But all this you can change perfectly. You know, it's easy to change this stuff. So I need to get my, there we go. I'll pull up my the one that I downloaded. So all I'm doing is copying this basically straight from Anstructs because that's what's working. As far as the image goes, I have a couple options. I could either download the image, screenshot it. I've already downloaded it, so all I'm going to do is upload it from my computer. Click in there, and then you click the image button, click upload. It downloads. There it is. That's the folder that you see, the zip folder that I downloaded from Anstructs, and here's the unzipped option. And that's the image right there. I'm going to open that. It's uploaded right here, so it's already selected. And now I can click add image. Now it's in there perfectly. Go back to Anstructs. Close some of this stuff down now. Oops. Yeah. Copy that. All I'm doing is basically clicking and copying and pasting. It's like exactly like I said in the sales message, sales video for this. Oops. There we go. Again, I don't have my links yet. I wanted to do the tracking after this because I just think it's easier to do it that way. So the only other thing that I really need to edit other than the links are, you see up here, I put in offer name and site name. So this is like the page title. So you need to hover over settings and go to SEO metadata, and you can edit that in there. So I'm just gonna say work from home newsletter. Again, I wouldn't ever use this domain name for this. I would just, most of my domains are very generic. So, you know, I can't even think of a good one to explain or a good one to use as an example. But anything that's kind of like news related, you don't really want to use the word news because the networks tend to not like that because you don't want to give the false representation that you're a news channel. Let's put wait fast. All I basically do is take some kind of text from the page and use that for the page title. So you can see it already changed it up there. So now I can click save. I'll click exit. This will take me back to the funnel for this funnel here in ClickFunnels. If I wanted to view the live page, a live version of this, I could just click this arrow, and that's the page that it just added in there. So again, I would probably link the image and then obviously link the button. So that's basically it for ClickFunnels. Seriously, there's not, again, all you're doing is throwing up a landing page, adding your tracking links. So in this case, I'm going to have 2 tracking links, 1, 2, and you can now use this URL right here as your landing page URL. If you wanted to make this a custom domain, well, let's do it. While I got you here, let's just do it. I'll show you how to set up a custom domain in ClickFunnels. Again, I go to Cloudflare and work from home newsletter. Again, it's just my example for you guys to demo. And you need to create a CNAME. So you're going to click this drop down, choose CNAME, and I will just put LP, or basically it stands for landing page. This is going to be the subdomain, and then you're going to point it to target.clickfunnels.com. Click add record. Boom, it's in there. So now I need to go into ClickFunnels and tell ClickFunnels that we just pointed a new domain to them. So I do that hover over your account up here, domains, add a new domain. I already have my domain, so use an existing one. And it is lp.workfromhomenewsletter.com. Add domain. This is basically telling you, here's the detailed instructions on what I just did. I created a CNAME that points LP at target.clickfunnels.com. So that's what I already did. So good job. And now you could choose the funnel. So my funnel was copy. It was called copy of native ad templates, and I'll associate this domain name with that funnel. And then the last thing that you should do, and I didn't talk about this in the Cloudways, but I will here in a second, is make sure that it's SSL enabled. It's always good to do that. So I'm just going to click add SSL. Now, so it says they're still checking, they're still enabling that. So I'll come back in a little bit and check that. It should be good to go. So go back to my funnel. Copy of native ad templates. And now my domain has changed to lp.workfromhomenewsletter.com. So now that's my custom domain pointed to my landing page. And here in a second, it's going to be HTTPS as soon as they verify that. So I think that is it for ClickFunnels, guys. There isn't a whole lot more that I could cover. I will show you this other landing page while we're waiting for the SSL to be verified. You can change these too. So the path in there, if you want to do that, you'll click publishing, and I can change this right here. So I'll call it, what was it? Lose weight fast. I'm going to copy it because I have to change it somewhere else too. And you click in this edit page split test settings, and change it up here too. Update page. Again, guys, remember this is all being recorded, so don't freak out that I'm going really fast. And you don't have to remember this stuff, guys. This is, you can go back and do it one step at a time, and just at your own pace. So now you can see it changed the path to lose weight fast. So let me go back to domains and let's see if it's verified the SSL yet. Scroll down. Expand, check now. Expand, SSL is enabled now. So now let's go back. You can see it's HTTPS now. So now you've got SSL set up on a custom domain in ClickFunnels and you're ready to go. So you can see I still have the generic path here. This other one should be to whatever I set it to. Yep. So now if I load this in the browser, you can see I have it secured now. HTTPS lp.workfromhomenewsletter.com/loseweightfast. Obviously this isn't the one that we edited, but that's kind of all you need to know for ClickFunnels with this system, guys. You're just setting up landing pages. There's nothing fancy, no connecting emails and products and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, here, go back to my presentation. Got stuff all over the place. All right, so we got initial SPY done, landers. We got set up an HTML lander done. ClickFunnels lander is done. Again, let's go through questions. Looks like we got some questions here. Yeah, so Alex is saying, at some point, could you go into what things are good to copy from other networks and why we wouldn't want to rip other affiliates landers on other ad networks? Absolutely. I'm not probably gonna have time for that tonight, Alex, but I will do that probably soon, probably next week or the week after, because it is important. But most of these guys anymore, they're not doing, like on native ad networks, they won't put up with like the old JavaScript hacks, like the back button redirects and kind of the goofy things that affiliates used to spam networks with. They don't allow any of that stuff. So those are really the things that get you in trouble. Sometimes you'll get an affiliate that will put some JavaScript in there so they could tell when somebody's ripping their page and using it somewhere else. But you know, that's pretty easy to spot if you know what you're looking for. So I'll for sure show you guys and tell you what to do there. All right. In the original webinar, you mentioned a discount. Was it for Anstrex? Yes, it was for Anstrex. They've yet to set that up for me. But if you shoot me an email, I think you had to be one of the first 20 to join. If you shoot me an email, I'll get you a discount code for 20% off. Barry says, I don't understand what they mean by ad strength. Is that click-throughs? Barry, it's one of those proprietary scoring things, kind of like ClickBank's gravity score. You're calling ad strength, it kind of mixes with kind of what I said. So the number of people that have seen the ad, where it's being seen, so different countries, maybe even different networks. If it's a higher ad strength, it just means that it's working better or being seen by more people. All right, I noticed on the two templates in ClickFunnels, one had an advertorial disclaimer and the other doesn't. Yeah, that was probably just a mishap on my part, John. Oh, they do. One says advertisement, I guess, and the other says advertorial. Either one works. I would probably recommend advertisement because that's what most of the ad networks want. So what he's saying, I don't know if you guys can see it in here or not, but this says advertorial right here. This other one says advertisement. just use advertisement. So if you're using this lander, just go in here, click edit, and click in up here and just change that to advertisement. See, I can't even type right, guys, and I'm able to do this stuff. Save it, click exit. So yeah, advertisement's just usually the one that I always use. Okay, so yeah, Alex asking, Vultr will add SSL automatically, or are there certain options you need to check? Cloudways adds it automatically, I believe. Don't think that it's something you have to select. And actually, Cloudflare adds it automatically too, Alex. So when you're setting up your domain in Cloudflare, you'll see, I'm not sure where it is. I think it's, just go to overview. I think it says, yeah, right here. SSL is set to flexible. So if I go to, what did I have that at? It was this, right? So if I just do that right now, this is not set. This is not a secure page. But if I put HTTPS in front of it, it should automatically add it through Cloudflare. So yeah, you see that it added it in there. So you just have to be sure when you're using that you're pulling your domains from like Cloudflare that you put that HTTPS in front of it. So Jake is asking, should the disclaimer you have on one of the landers be on all the landers? I like to do it that way just because that's like what the FTC likes to see, and I don't want to get in trouble with those guys. So really, like, this guy doesn't, the one that I ripped from this guy, he doesn't have it all the way. It should be like, what one was it using in here? Should be like this one, which the templates I have, I've given you guys. These are the templates. This is what I would use, and I would use it on every single lander. So Alex is saying he's been playing around with Anstrix. He usually sorts by gravity. Is this a bad way to order ads? I thought that higher gravity meant that the ad was better currently. Honestly, I don't know the difference between gravity and ad strength in the Anstrix platform. I just pick ad strength because I notice big variations in ads. There's some ad strength, they start at like 1 or 2, and then you'll get ads that have ad strengths in the thousands. So those are typically the ones that have been running for a longer time, and they've been running more recently. They're not ones that were up like a month ago. So Kim, you're asking, should we use that on Cloudflare too? Can you copy paste it to us? What are you referring to? The disclaimer. Cloudflare is really just a way to connect your domain name to your hosting or to connect your domain name to ClickFunnels. So you're going to put that disclaimer either in the HTML page that you're putting on your host account, or you're going to put that disclaimer inside of ClickFunnels like I have in here. Yeah, so the HTML page is where you put the disclaimer. And again, the templates that I'm giving you guys, well, you have the ClickFunnels ones already. The HTML ones, I'm going to put those in the members area. As soon as this training is done, I'm going to put those in the members area right under this video. Okay. Is ad saturation an issue? It depends on the network, and it depends on kind of like the countries and that there's just so many different ways to run these things. Well, take the lottery offer, for example. In the US, that ad may be getting saturated, but I'm still getting plenty of clicks at 20 cents a click in the US for lottery, and it's converting. And it's the biggest in the US right now. But people are still making money in Canada, the UK, Australia, even like Spanish countries. They've got the same Spanish offer. So I would say ad saturation is not an issue, even on a network like MGID that's pretty small. It's definitely just not an issue with native. So Trung is asking, do we need Vultr? What is it for? Vultr is just part of Cloudways. So when you're setting up a new server in Cloudways, that's just part of the setup process, not anything you even need to really know. So when the video recording is up, go back and look at how I set up my server in Cloudways. All I did was pick Vultr. It's just part of the setup process in Cloudways. All right, so if all of us go after the same high strength ads / offers, would it all work for us? Yes, it would, because if you're using somebody else's offer that's already working, I can guarantee you they're not buying all of the traffic that's available on that network. A lot of times, even if I have my budget at $200 a day, my budget is spent by noon. So that means for the rest of the day, the rest of those 12 hours, that traffic is just sitting there waiting for somebody else to buy it. And you can always go after another country or another category. That's the other thing. I'll talk more about that later on when we set up the ad. Okay, let's get into the next part here. Get some of these closed and out of the way. So we're going to get to ClickBank and volume. Leave that open. I don't need that yet anymore. I mean, we don't need ClickFunnels anymore. Okay. All right. So we got up to the lander done. We got ClickFunnels done and HTML setup done. I know that you guys are probably overwhelmed still with what I've gone through so far, and I don't blame you. Again, remember this is being recorded. You'd stop it, rewind it, fast forward it, however much you want. Videos aren't going anywhere for a long time. So don't be overwhelmed. If you've gone through it and you just have no clue what any of this is, and you're like struggling big time, shoot me an email, send me your login info, and I will set the dang thing up for you. Remember, that's part of the guarantee for this thing. I will get in your account, set all this up for you so you can just worry about it. Once it's set up, like once the hosting stuff is done, like with Cloudways, all you're doing then from that point is downloading a lander and uploading it, adding your links or whatever. It's simple. So tracking is probably the most difficult part of this whole thing, but it's also the most important part of this whole thing. And this is where most affiliates fail. Because they don't want to learn it. They don't care to learn it. They don't think it's important. They think that all they can do is look at how much you're spending and how much they're making. And if they're making more, they can keep running it. I can promise you that you're not going to make money that way. You're going to end up spending more money than you make that way because you're wasting so much ad spend on placements that just are never going to make you any money. You have to have tracking set up. So again, just a reminder, go through this and just follow these instructions. It may seem like I'm going all over the place, and I kind of am because I don't do this enough I don't do the setup enough to have to, to be able to memorize it. Once it's set up, it's set up. I don't have to go back and set up brand new accounts again. So I registered all new accounts, all of these things with Volume, MGID, not ClickFunnels. I just use my regular ClickFunnels account. ClickBank, I set up a brand new account. So just remember, you can follow my lead, stop it, rewind it, fast forward it again as much as you need to. Tonight's call, if you're on here live, just kind of take it all in. Don't be overwhelmed. Just look at what I'm doing. Try and connect the dots a little bit mentally. Take a break, grab a beer or coffee here in a little bit. Come back, we'll refresh, and if you got questions, we'll get those answered. And maybe you wake up tomorrow and you still have questions, shoot me an email, whatever. If you're one of the 10 people that got in first, if you want to spend your Skype call on understanding the flow or the process, I'm fine with that. Use that however you want. So let's get going with volume. This is, again, a brand new volume account. So just set it up today. I've done nothing in here other than, what did I do? Enter my credit card information, and then it popped up with like the tour guide. It shows you basically, this is how you enter a traffic source. This is a campaign. This is an affiliate network. I just turned that off and I left it on the screen. So it's trying to load campaigns and source it. There's nothing in here yet. So basically the way that I'm going to just go about this is setting these up here. This is what we're going to be working on first. The way volume works is it's just basically a visual database. You put in all the information and you drive traffic to it, and it tells you what that traffic is based on the data that you put in here. So they do have some things in here for traffic sources. They have affiliate networks, but a lot of this we're just going to have to create custom things. So, and there's probably stuff that I forgot that I had to do, and I'm probably going to be stumbling around and having to try and find it on my computer. But I promise it's worthwhile to get this set up. So let's start with affiliate networks. Just click affiliate network. So I'm going to click new affiliate network, and I'm going to do ClickBank, and I'm just going to keep it like that. Click save, click done. Now we have affiliate network in there. So next I'm going to move over to traffic sources. Click new traffic source. See, they already have MGID in here. They got a lot of other ones too down here. These are basically like templates. You see it says templates up here. So they already have these like built inside of here. So I'm just going to click MGID and click load template. And if you guys are, so I know some of you guys already got set up with MGID, and you talked to Igor in there. He may be able to hook you up with a postback URL. And what all that really is it allows you to see your conversion data inside of MGID too. So you could kind of look at your, kind of like your CPAs and how much are your clicks costing, all that kind of stuff. You can see conversions from inside of MGID too, but you don't need that right now. So all this down here, I'm not even going to go through this because it's already set up the way that it needs to. I'm not even going to explain any of it. So MGID is already loaded, but that's all we have to worry about right now. Click save and click done. So now we've got our traffic source set up in here and our affiliate network, which is ClickBank. You'd see they already inputted 2 of their own traffic sources by default. They own ZeroPark and obviously Volume DSP. So the next thing that we want to set up is, let's do offers and new offer. And so this is the flat belly fix. Go back to Anstrex. Get out of here. Okay, so they're running this USA, Canada, Australia. I'm just going to start this one in US. I'm going to go all the way down to country, type United, and then pick United States. And you can see when I did that, it's automatically changing the offer name based on what you're entering here. So my affiliate network is going to be ClickBank, the one that I just entered in there. We're going to leave payout to auto because we're going to automatically pass back our ClickFunnels. I'm sorry, I say ClickFunnels and ClickBank all the time. So we're going to automatically pass back how much we earn. We don't have to do that manually. And the rest of that should be good. So the offer URL is my ClickBank affiliate link. So I set up a new ClickBank account here. This is my ClickBank ID. I'm going to go over to the marketplace and go to health and fitness and diets and weight loss, and flat belly fixes right there. So I'm going to click promote. It automatically put in my account nickname. So I'm going to click create. This is my my affiliate link for the flat belly fix offer on ClickBank. You can see I earn a 75% commission. So I'm going to copy that, go back to volume, paste that in there. And now with ClickBank and volume, this is what you need to do. So pay close attention. This isn't done automatically. You have to manually type this stuff in. Question mark TID equals. So TID is ClickBank's parameter for tracking ID. And I'll go back to ClickBank. So you see right here where it says tracking ID. Say I would have put in like MGID because that's where I'm running my ads at, and click create. It would have added question mark TID equals MGID. See that there? So you can do it either way, but we're not using MGID. What we're going to put in there is this URL token called ClickID. For right now, guys, you don't have to worry about what this means, what this is. Just do what I'm showing you how to do. That's as simple as that. Because honestly, I don't even think I could explain to you what this is. I have my head around it, but I don't know that I can put it into words. Just know that if you're running a ClickBank offer, you put your ClickBank affiliate link followed by a question mark TID equals. And then you can if you just click this down here, it automatically pops it in up there. Just like you see it right there. And from there, I believe, I'm going to have to finish typing my my offer name. So this is Flat Belly Fix. That's it. So it's on the ClickBank network and running it in the United States. And that's the name of the product I'm promoting. And I'll click save. And you can see in my offers now, I have that one offer. Okay, for next, I'm going to do landers. Now, I'm only going to do one lander. A lot of times I always upload two, but for right now, I'm just going to do one. Click new lander. This is going to also be just United States. And my URL, of course, I closed all that stuff. I'm going to have to open up ClickFunnels because I didn't change that one. I need to get the URL for my landing page template. So this is it right here. And actually, I always recommend in ClickFunnels, I recommend that you open it in the browser window and then copy and paste it. Because look at this. Look at this here. And then look at that. See how it says lander and it's a totally different path? It's something that ClickFunnels does, and I don't quite understand why they change it. But always copy it from the browser window. Don't ever copy it from inside of the ClickFunnels bar here. And I'm going to paste that right into lander URL. So then the lander name, I just usually type in like the offer, Flat Belly Fix, and then I'd put like lander 1. So if I'm putting another one in there, I'd put lander 2. So if I wanted to add another one, I'd do the same thing. Just do new lander, put the landing page URL, change it to United States, and then go back up there and put like Flat Belly Fix lander 2. So all we're doing right now, we're like kind of populating volume with the offers and the campaign and all the stuff that we need to build our campaign inside volume. We're manually entering all that stuff one piece at a time. So the last thing that we build before the campaign is the flow. The flow is another confusing thing. Like volume is built for like really, really high volume affiliates. So they give you a lot of different options. There's ways you can have like one campaign link, like one link that will automatically filter where the person is visiting from, what country they're from, what device they're on, whether they're on Wi-Fi or mobile device or at home, and they'll show them different landing pages, different offers based on all that. We're not using it for that right now, so we just kind of have to go through these steps, even though it's really not built for that. So this path, this is what we're gonna do here, and we'll call it flat belly fix path. I don't need that. My lander. So if you click in landers, it's automatically pulling up my lander. Click in offers, it's automatically pulling up my offers. And I'm going to select the one I created. Everything else stays the same. Don't have to mess with rules or any of that. That's kind of what I was talking about before. Oh, but I forgot to put my name. See how it says type a name for the flow? I skipped ahead and I should have typed this in and then clicked next, and I accidentally clicked path first. So just type flat belly fix flow. This is again going to be United States. And now if I go back to path, I should have all that done. So my lander is in there, my offer is in there, and you can also split test. Like if you wanted to direct link, you can split test a lander and direct linking. You would just, what you would do is just click add default, add a new path, and it would split this 50-50, and you would just click the checkbox for direct linking, and it takes away the lander. So I'm good to go. I'm just going to leave it with one landing page. Click save. So now I am to the point where I could actually go in and create a campaign. The only thing is a couple things. We haven't talked about domains inside of volume, and we haven't talked about connecting volume to ClickBank. So let me cover what do we want to do first. Let's just do ClickBank and get it over with because it's a little technical. Let's get it out of the way. So from ClickBank, you go into settings, my site, and click edit down here to advanced tools. And I'm gonna give you guys this page here. I'm gonna go back into Sublime, close this down and get rid of that. Okay, just making sure I've got the right file here. Sorry guys, I'm just looking, I'm making sure that I got this set up right. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. Okay, yeah, I did tell you the wrong thing the first time. So you go to settings, my site. Again, once this is set up, you don't have to go back and do it. So I haven't done this in a long time as far as setup goes. You're going to click add tracking code. Going to click tracking pixel and add. Now ClickBank wants you to add in a tracking pixel URL. You're actually going to host your own tracking pixel. It may sound tedious or technical or whatever, but it's actually pretty easy. This is the page that I'm going to give you. All you have to do, only thing you have to edit is this right here. So everything from the question mark to the left in that line. And you're going to find this URL inside of your volume account. And it's got, guys, all the instructions are right here. So see where it says 1, replace the value of the postback URL. This is the postback URL. By the postback URL given to you by your tracker, but in that URL, keep only the part that is before the question mark. So basically what they're saying is you're going to get a URL that has all of this. But the only thing that you're going to change in here is this part. So let's go back into volume. And you go to the settings button up here and tracking URLs. And scroll down to postback URL. See that here? You see this right here? This is exactly what I just showed you. All you really need is this part right there. So I'm going to copy that. Go back to Sublime, paste that. Then I'm going to save this file. And I'm going to upload this file. This is called cbpostback.php. It's clickbankpostback.php. I already have it in my work from home newsletter folder. So I'm going to go back to FileZilla. And I'm going to upload that into the main directory. Let me go back. It's got to reconnect to my server. Okay, this is the main directory of that workfromhomenewsletter.com that we set up in Cloudways. Now I need to get way back out of here. Oops. I'm just going to drag that and drop it. So now the file that I'm going to put in my ClickBank account is, and it has to be HTTPS. I forgot to mention that. It's got to be HTTPS workfromhomenewsletter.com/cbpostback.php. Again, if that's confusing, don't worry. Watch the recording as many times as you need to until you get it right. We're going to track as affiliate. And we're going to track on the confirmation page. And we're going to leave all of these selected. Those are all the things we want to be able to pass back over to volume. From there, we're going to click save. Now we're going to go back down. Notice how it says inactive. We've got to click this button here. Go back down, now it says active, so we should be good to go. Go back and edit and just make sure that, okay, yeah. I just wanted to double check to make sure I had that in there the right way. Okay, so this should be green. It should say active, custom pixel, affiliate is the role on the order confirmation page, and that should be the CB postback file on your own server. Again, hopefully I'm not losing anybody. I don't expect you guys to understand everything I'm doing tonight. The whole point of this is to get you guys up and running as fast as possible and to be as successful as possible. You don't have to understand how all this works. You just have to follow the instructions that I'm telling you. So now that I got that set up, I'm good to go on my postback. I don't need any of that. And actually Volume, one thing, let me explain real quick. Volume used to offer what was called a custom domain, kind of like you saw me do in ClickFunnels, where I went in and pointed my own domain to ClickFunnels so that I could have my own custom domain for my landing pages. By default, Volume doesn't do that anymore. You can put in your own custom domain. Basically, it's like your own tracking domain. So you can see right here, this could be whatever you want it to be, like Dustin'sTrackingDomain.com. And that's the domain you're going to give to your your traffic network. But honestly, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what your domain is. Nobody sees that domain, because what it does is that tracking domain gets put into the ad network. So MGID, somebody clicks an MGID ad, they don't see this tracking domain. If they hover over an MGID ad, they're going to see an MGID link down at the bottom corner. They're not going to see your tracking link. And your tracking link quickly redirects to your landing page URL. Since we're using landers, there's nothing there's nothing that shows your tracking link. So you can use this link they're giving me here. Mine is Burmed-Colmain, whatever that is, doesn't matter. It's 100% unique to me. I own that domain name now. They give everybody their own custom domain name. You don't have to worry about other people using it to spam, places and make your domain name not look good. So this right here is the link, is your tracking link that you now need to put in to your landing page. So I'm gonna go back in. You see what I did there? I copied my click URL. I'm gonna go back in and edit this page. And I wanna make this image a hyperlink. So I'm gonna click the settings button. And for link URL, I'm gonna paste in that link. And I don't really need to open it in a new window. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna leave it as normal. So you can see down here on image click, it's gonna go to my tracking link. And then I'm gonna do the same with my button. I gotta click set action, go to website URL, paste in my tracking link, open in the same window. And those are the only two things I'm gonna link. I'm not gonna link this up here. I'm gonna click save. Now my landing page is done. There's nothing else I have to touch in there. And now I've got my lander connected to volume. I've got ClickBank connected to volume. The next thing that I need to do is create my campaign. I think I've got everything done inside of volume. I don't think there's anything that I have to touch as far as conversions go, because I set up that ClickBank tracking page. So let me go back to home, click campaigns. I'm going to click new campaign. I'm just going to run this in the United States. And the traffic source is MGID. Again, they're pulling these based on what I've put in there. I've only put in MGID. They had ZeroPark in there already. Cost model. So this is kind of where it could get screwed up. Some traffic networks will pass over the cost data. MGID does not. So you have to put in what you're bidding. And for this one, I think I'm going to start out at just 10 cents. Click. So I picked CPC, it's cost per click. I'm putting 0.10. All right, so then I'm going to do, let's see, flat belly fix. And I'm just going to do mobile traffic on this one, mobile only. And I'm basically just making these names up, guys. This is kind of the standard naming convention that I like to use. So basically volume creates it, most of it. Traffic network, country you're running it in, name of the product you're promoting, then device you're targeting. I'll click next. And then you can pick your flow. So it's the only one I have in here, flat belly fix flow. It's got my path there already. If I wanted to make sure it was right, that's the flat belly fix lander 1, flat belly fix ClickBank offer, click save. And this, guys, is the campaign URL. That is it to setting up tracking and volume. Everything is connected. Landing pages are connected. The offer is connected. My affiliate link is in there. ClickBank is talking with volume. Any kind of sales I make, they're going to pass that data back to volume. This URL, this one you can copy right here, is what we're going to take over to MGID, and it's what they're going to use when somebody clicks our ad. They're going to basically visit this URL. So I'm going to click done. And for some reason, if you like miss that link, if you couldn't copy it in time, just click campaigns, click the campaign you want the link for, click edit, and the link is right there. You click copy again. Cool. So let's do this, guys. Let's take a 10-minute break. Be back at 8:55, and I'm going to pick up here where I left off. We're going to take this campaign over to, actually, we're going to answer questions first. I've got, I think, 6 or 7 questions in there. Then we're going to take this campaign over to MGID and get it set up. So take a 10-minute break, guys. We'll be back at 8:55. I'm not going to pause the webinar or anything. I'm just going to mute it on my end. So I will be back at 8:55. All right, guys, I'm back. Everybody all set? Ready to get going? Okay, cool. All right, so I got questions here. Rita, you're saying you talked about Lander, discount for $40 per month. Can you use this on more than one ad? Do we pay $40 per ad? Also, does the ad show how frequently per month, or does it just stay on screen? I guess I'm confused as to what you're asking there. The discount for Anstrex is 20% off of the 20% off any plan, but it would be $47, $48 a month, I think, for the $60 per month plan. And that, that's an unlimited amount of searches in their network. It's a flat fee to use it, pretty much unlimited. Is volume just for ClickBank? No, volume is for anything. Like I said, it's just a database that you plug in your own traffic sources, your own offers, your own affiliate networks. You do all of that. You're basically just putting in your data into the database, and it is a way for you to like see your results visually rather than just look at numbers. Do we decide what we are willing to, how much cost we are willing to pay for ads? Yeah, that's going to be in the next section here, Rita. Why would you need 2 landers in volume? That's a good question. I usually always run, it's for split testing, man. It's trying to figure out which landing page is going to convert the most, which is going to get the most clicks. So let me pull up ClickFunnels here. So we'll open this one. We'll open this one. So what volume will do is if you put 2 landers in there, when you give MGID your campaign link, volume will automatically rotate these 2 landing pages. They'll send one visitor here, one visitor here, one visitor here, one visitor here, and you'll be able to see the data based on how many people click through to see the offer. The goal of this page is to get the highest click-through rate, because otherwise you're wasting money on ads where people aren't even clicking through to see the offer. So that's why you would put more than one lander in volume. And somebody else is asking, can I show how to do that? So let me just quickly set up hang on. I'll set up another lander in volume here for this other page. Even though it's not set up, it doesn't matter. It's still useful to see. What in the world is it? There we go. So the URL of this one is that. So I will call it Flat Belly Fix Lander 2. Save. And then go into flows. This is where you kind of set up the split test. I'll click edit. And click paths. And right here, I'm going to add in a second lander. So right there, I'm going to add my second lander. So you can see it's doing 50% weight for each one, and click save. So now if I go back into flows and look at that path, you can see it's got that in there. And you can actually add as many as you want. You can add a bunch of them, and it'll just randomly split test them all. So that's how you set up a second lander to split test. And you can actually set up different paths to split test as well, but it's kind of a discussion for a different day. So but for now, I'm going to just delete that because I only want run in here because I don't even have that other page set up yet. Okay. Oops. How do you add the postback file to ClickFunnels? Yeah, that's something I didn't even talk about. You can't add the postback file to ClickFunnels because it's a PHP file. So you have to have your own hosting for that, Mario. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could be a $4 a month hosting because it's only going to get used anytime you have a conversion in ClickBank. So you would need some kind of just a cheap hosting account like a HostGator or something. Just a cheap $4 a month, something you're just using one file there. And you can, I showed it on mine. I just put it on the same domain on my Cloudways hosting account. So you don't have to have separate domains or anything. Can you talk about link cloaking? Jim is asking. For right now, Jim, you don't really have to cloak anything. There's good cloaking and bad cloaking, like black hat type cloaking. Neither one, you don't have to do either of those for this method. Like I said, with your tracking link, you don't have to cloak that because nobody's going to see it. It's getting hidden by the MGID ad link. So you don't really have to use cloaking. Does direct linking work well with native ads? Yeah, absolutely it does. If you look in Anstrex, just spend some time looking around in Anstrex and like click through to some of these, and you could tell if there's no page, like they'll have an offer page or a visit page. If there's only an offer page, then you know they're direct linking. So just spend some time going in there and seeing what people are doing. Some people just do direct link. Truthfully, sending them to a landing page, even if it's as simple as these landing pages here, these landing pages boost conversions. You're going to get less people viewing your ClickBank link, but those people that do click through, that take the time to actually click here to watch the video, they're going to watch the whole video because this right here is called a micro commitment. So I'm kind of getting into the psychology stuff here a little bit, but I think it's useful because you need to understand some of this stuff right off the bat. It's a micro commitment. It's kind of an NLP trick. NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. It's kind of like the psychological reasons why people do what they do. And when it comes to buying things, it's kind of a neat subject to study, but there's a lot of books on the topic. But somebody that clicks through and then goes to a ClickBank page, they're going to stay a lot longer because it's even subconscious. They don't even realize it. But they've done this little micro commitment where they said, okay, I'm gonna click this and watch this video. They've kind of committed to themselves that I'm in this to kind of see it through and see what happens. Whereas if somebody just clicks an ad and they land right on the ClickBank sales page, they kind of don't have any skin in the game other than the ad they clicked on. So conversions tend to be lower. But that is, it works in some cases. I've had successful direct link campaigns on Bing. In the weight loss niche, it works pretty well because the people are just desperately looking for a solution. Are you recommending we start with just one lander then? One is better than none. for sure. So just get that one up there. If you don't want to do two, don't do two. If you do want to take the time to do two, do this one and then use the same information, but put it in this template. So do both templates. That's usually what I do all the time. I just take, when I set up a new campaign, I always have two landers, this one and this one. It's always the same information. It's always the same, usually the same picture, same headline, same description, and same call to action. It's just in a different style. That's all it is. You can get into, it's kind of like what I do is I test two extremely different variations. This is a lot different than this one. Once you determine which one of these is working best, let's say this one that is getting 5% higher click-through rate. So we call this one the winner. The next thing that we want to do is maybe test this image against another image. And maybe the other image tends to get 5-6% higher than the other one. So then we'll keep that image, the higher one, and then we'll start testing the headline. We'll test this headline against another headline. And that's how you slowly increase your conversions. In one country, kind of follow up on that last one. So one lander in one country, always, always, always create one campaign for one country. Always, that's it. If you want to do another country, that's fine, but make it a whole different campaign. Does Anstrix show the ads in the foreign language if you want to use a ClickBank product in a different language? That's a good question. Let's see. Yep, guess so. So it shows it right there. Click on this and just see. So this one here is a direct link. There's no landing page. So you can see it's going straight to a ClickBank sales letter, video sales letter. Why don't all the disclaimers plus advertisement labels discourage a lot of people from clicking through? Skip, I thought the same exact thing when I first got started. I'm like, I don't want to put that crap on there because it's got to decrease conversions. Honestly, it doesn't. Don't know why, but it doesn't. It's one of those things people just don't care. If it's something that's going to solve their problem, give them a solution to their problem and ease their pain, they don't care. They're desperate. Can you give us the 2 landing page templates in HTML format in the members area? Absolutely. As soon as this call is over, as soon as this session is done, I'm going to go into the members area and upload those templates. This webinar recording probably won't be done tonight because I think it has to process, and then I'll upload it to like YouTube where I can host it privately, and then I'll put it in the members area in the morning. What's a good click-through rate for our ads and offer conversion rate? Click-through rate, 30s to 40% to start with is what you're shooting for. You're going to notice it's going to be all over the place, though, depending on a lot of things, depending on your offer, the country you're targeting, the traffic network you're using. But I like 30 to 40 on your landing page. Offer conversion rate can vary because there's just a lot to go into the offer. Price point, whether or not the offer is a trial or a recurring or a straight sale. Some offers on ClickBank are $37, some are $97. A lot of times the $97 ones convert up better. You just don't know until you get in there. So there's really nothing you can do about the ClickBank conversion rate. As long as you're doing your research and you're spying stuff right the first time before you do anything, you shouldn't have a problem with the offer conversion rate. DJ's saying members area, that's news to me. Yeah, DJ, shoot me an email if you don't have access to that. A couple of emails went out after people signed up, and I put a bunch of stuff in one email and kind of screwed up that way. But there will be a members area where these recordings will be held, and anything I use during the sessions, like these page templates or anything else I tend to kind of put together, I'll throw in there and link to it. Regarding language, can I select country of USA and language of Spanish rather than English? I believe you can do that in MGID, yes. So you can target people who are living in the United States but speak the Spanish language. We need ClickBank PHP page to connect volume and ClickBank also. Maybe in members area. Yep, that's where I will put the postback PHP page in the right. It'll be right under this video. Which, if you log in tonight, there won't be a video there yet, but it'll be all in the week 1 coaching section. Rita's asking if I have any internet marketing products in this program. I guess you're asking if I'm promoting internet marketing products like this. I have. With MGID, there's actually a lot of good biz op, make money online traffic to be had there. Isn't the US market saturated and expensive for a newbie? Not in native ads, Mario. It's just totally different with native ads. People haven't transitioned from the Facebooks and Googles and all of those yet, even Bing. Like I said, I'm getting 5 and 10 cent clicks daily with mobile traffic, and mobile traffic is actually converting better than desktop anymore. So not saturated and not expensive. Okay, all the questions are gone for now. So let's go go back to our campaign and volume. And I need to load up my second MGID account. And I have more than one here. We'll see if I get the right one. There we go, that's it. Okay, so this is the inside of MGID. Again, guys, inside the members area, you'll find a link to MGID in the sidebar. You use that and you deposit $500, they will match it. Deposit anything more than that too, they'll match 25% of it. A couple people have already told me they've gotten their bonus. So as soon as you put your 500 in there, the bonus is, the guy told me the bonus should happen within 24 hours. They'll put it right in there. So I'm going to click add campaign. I'm going to name this. It's going to be product category. This is weight loss. So I'm going to do healthy living. So this is the stuff, guys. This campaign category, you can try and pick random ones just to test them out. You'll notice though that like when it goes to the approval process, the MGID guys will try and put it into where they think it'll work best, and that's fine. The other thing I didn't tell you guys, if you deposit $500, you're gonna get your own dedicated campaign manager who's gonna, you'll be able to talk to them via email, and they're going to give you suggestions as to what's going to work best. They'll go in and basically help you manage your campaign if you want them to do that. So I'm going to click weight loss. I'm going to do weight loss for that one. So whoever asked that question, this is where you pick English or Spanish. You know, if you want to do, so down here, you're going to pick what country you want to advertise in, and then this is the language you want to do. So I'm going to pick USA, move that over there, and I'm only going to do mobile, move that over there. Okay. Now we'll go down to keep it running continuously. I'm going to do by budget, $50 a day. If you wanted to pick like an overall, like if you don't want to spend more than like $300, then you can put that in here. I'm just going to leave this blank for now though. So that with this option right here, you can like kind of let your budget get drained slowly so that you can test which time of the day you get the most conversions. So you get the same amount of traffic every hour. And you'll be able to see like what traffic maybe is converting the better based on the hour of the day. So I usually don't pick that because I like to get data fast and I don't want to waste time with that. So I turn off the tracking. We got our own tracking. And I'm not going to use their conversion for this. I don't want to. They like that because then they can log in there and see what your campaign's doing, and they can try and give you advice. And that's fine. You know, you'll get an account person that'll come to you and tell you what to do if you want to go that way. That's totally fine. I just like to manage this stuff more on my own. So now we're creating the actual ad. What we basically just created was the campaign, kind of the shell of it. So now we're putting the ads in it from here. So the URL here, this is where you're putting your campaign URL. So we're under campaigns, Potbelly Fix, edit, and copy my campaign link and paste. Title of the ad is the headline, and we're going to get that from Anstrux. Get Mexico out of there. And this is the one, yeah. So go to creatives. You see all the different creatives this guy or girl was running. So this one seems to be the best as far as gravity and strength. So I'm going to copy that, paste it. So you can see I still have 7 characters left. One thing that is pretty cool with MGID, you could put in like city names dynamically or state names. So I could put like women in Ohio use this to burn belly fat like crazy. And it'll show the state name of the person who is viewing the ad. So I'll show you how to do that stuff probably next week when we get into optimizing this campaign. It's pretty cool. Okay, so next is the image again, getting that from here. This is way too small though. Trying to find the biggest one because MGID is going to make me put a big one in there. I'm not sure. What you can do is actually like do a reverse search and pull the image from the internet. They're going to make me get a bigger one than that. Let's see if this one's big enough. Let's go click save. Save to the desktop and do add one. Yeah, TinEye, Alex is saying going to TinEye usually works well for reverse image search to get a large image size. Let me try that. Yeah, good call. So this is 700 right here by 467. There we go. Perfect. Save that one as add one. All right. And then go back to MGID. They're going to make me, they'll tell you if it's too small, but this one should be good. And then you can crop it when it opens up here. So that one's a perfect size, and then you can move this over however you want it for the square size. Category is weight loss, and this is where you set your price per click. So this is confusing too. Initially, I put like, I wanted to bid 10 cents, so I put 0.10 in there, and it came back, it was like, dude, that's way too low. Because what they're asking for is in US cents. So I want 10 here. That's 10 cents. And I always recommend creating a second ad so you can have something to go against, at least for the image. So I want to split test the image. So I want to keep this the same. So I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to click save and add new ad. I'm going to add one now. Put that title in, and then I'm going to go back and get my campaign link. Again, guys, I'm going too fast. Watch the recording, slow it down, take your time, and do this one step at a time. Just kind of doing this to keep this video here under the recording under 3 or 4 hours. See if he's using any other pictures. I don't think he was. If anybody else is using any for. Let's just put belly in there. So this one here is different. Oh, that's too small. 480 by 360, I think, is still too small. This one should be good. Or this one here. Okay. There. Try and get the hand in there. It's good. Weight loss category is good. And do 10 cents. And that's good. I'm just going to go save and go to the ads list. Okay, so you can see now I've got 2 ads, same headline, different images, same bid. You can see that they're in moderation. They're usually pretty good. They're usually less than 24 hours. Obviously, if you do it on the weekend, they're not going to approve it till Monday. But these should be live by tomorrow. And I've got, again, this is a mobile, just a mobile ad, $50 a day. So they will split test these images. They will, one person will see this ad, one will see this ad, one will see this ad. So we got some time here. I do have 3 questions, I think, in there. Let me try and explain a little bit about the campaign URL just to kind of show you a little bit, just so you can kind of get a feel for how this data is passed back and forth. So this is our campaign URL that we got from Volume, right? This is the same thing that I pulled from right here. What's going to happen is these parameters in here inside these curly braces, like this teaser ID, campaign ID, widget ID, category ID, geo, click price. So they are passing click price. I didn't notice that, but either way, I'm bidding a flat 10, then their prices never change. So what happens when this ad gets shown, these parameters are automatically filled in by MGID. For this, for campaign ID, what they'll do, I believe, doesn't show the campaign ID, I don't think, anywhere on here. So let's say teaser. Where's teaser at? Teaser ID. This is the teaser ID. See how it says ID status? This ID is different than this one. They'll put that ID number in place of this curly brace, teaser ID, curly brace. So it'll say teaser underscore ID equals, and then we'll put that ID if this ad is shown. Same thing for campaign ID. If you have multiple campaigns running, you want to know which campaign is producing the conversions. Widget IDs are where your ads are being displayed, which publishers they are, even placements for the publishers. If they have an ad block in the sidebar or an ad block in the center of the content, you want to know what's converting the best so that you're not wasting money in places that you don't need to. So hopefully that makes sense. That data will all then get passed over to volume through the campaign URL, and it'll all be displayed inside your campaign. I'll show you next week, once data starts coming through here, I'll be able to run a report on this by clicking report, and I can pick what I normally pick is widget ID, and then click apply. It's not going to show anything because obviously we don't have any data. And it'll show all of the widget IDs where my ads got clicked on, and then it'll show how many people visited my landing page, how many people clicked through my landing page to see the offer, and how many of those who clicked through converted. So you'll see all that data right there. You'll also see how much the traffic costs because I'm bidding 10 cents a click. You'll see how much revenue I generated from my ClickBank sales, and then you'll see how much the profit was based on that revenue and cost. Then there's a lot of other data over here. You'll see the CTR of your landing pages. That's usually how I weed out the ones that I want to turn off in MGID. Is I'll sort by CTR, low to high, and anything below like a 10%, I usually go back into MGID and just turn it off. So, but again, I'm getting ahead of myself there. It's really about it as far as the basics of setting it up in MGID. That's all that I do, guys, to get going. I know there's a couple questions based on that, so let me get into those. With the ClickBank offer, should we look for reoccurring / subscription offers? Yeah, man, if you can find offers that have rebill, for sure, it's free money, basically. You're paying for the sale once, and you're getting paid for it over and over again. So anytime I can get a rebill as a commission, I'm all over that. So once our campaign is running at MGID with the tracking setup you showed us, whatever is working in MGID, like time of conversions or website or category, we will be able to see right inside of volume. Yes, that is absolutely correct. That's the point of volume. Volume connects your traffic source to your, basically your affiliate network where you're getting paid, so that you can tell what is working on the traffic source, and basically what from the traffic source is generating the sales, so that you only pay for those high converting placements. You're not buying traffic that isn't converting. Alex is asking, if you use another ad image, should you also set up another landing page using the other ad image? Otherwise, you won't get a true sense of actual CTR from your lander to offer. I don't usually go that far because I treat them as two different things. I treat the ad separate from the lander, but they have to be congruent enough to where it makes sense. So you notice how my two images here they're still lemons, and then on the landing page, it's a lemon. That's the picture that I actually use from the landing page. I didn't even realize that. But that's the picture. So it's still a lemon, it's just a different picture of a lemon. So congruency is key, but it doesn't have to be the exact same image. A lot of times I'll use a different image because it's almost more intriguing to them. How do you decide the CPC bid? That's a good question, but I usually just guess. Not a guess. it's come from experience. So I never bid more than 20 cents on MGID, even for desktop traffic. 20 cents, you're going to get top bid, not top bid, but you're going to get as high really as you want a bid in MGID. Mobile, I usually never bid more than 10 unless it's a very, very competitive niche. And even then, it's rare that I bid over 10. So I start high, and then if I see that I'm getting a lot of traffic and I'm getting decent conversions, I'll try and lower the bid by a penny and see what changes, and then again another penny until I notice a big difference. But that, we'll cover more of that stuff here in the coming weeks. Native ads must be good for arbitrage and list building, like newsletters. Absolutely. Like, spend some time in Anstrex. Look at trying to think of the best. Rev Content, actually, there's tons and tons of arbitrage guys on Rev Content. There was another one too, that maybe Locker Dome. It was either Gravity or Locker Dome. Spend some time in here and just look around. You can always pick out the arbitrage guys because they are the ones using the viral type headlines. It's like, you won't believe what happened next, that kind of stuff. Because all they want is traffic. They just want anybody coming to their site so they can hopefully get them to click on an ad while they're there. They do, and then you said list building too. Absolutely, for list building, because the clicks are very low and click price is very low, and you're getting qualified visitors to your site. So I will be covering list building. I just said I wasn't going to go into it much, but I am going to throw it into one of the sessions because it's important to me, and I know a lot of other people are interested in that too. What's the minimum daily budget we can use for getting started with ads? In MGID, the minimum is $50 with Rev Content. With a direct response ad, the minimum is $100. If you're doing like a content type thing, the minimum is less than that, but I don't know. I don't ever run content ads. But again, you can deposit $100 and set your budget to 50, and you can just get traffic for 2 days and see what happens with it. Do you recommend just starting in the U.S. market? Actually, I recommend starting outside of the U.S. because the clicks are cheaper. So look at, just do this. Just go into the MGID, ClickBank, date last seen, country. So I like the tier 1 still. So Canada, Australia, UK, and New Zealand. And people are saying, I'd never tried it, but people are saying South Africa is converting pretty well. So let's just do Canada. I got belly in there. Let me get rid of my search there. Get rid of belly. So this shows you the countries down here where these guys are running. So you can just run in Canada and do these same campaigns. This is why I say that this isn't getting saturated, because look at all the different opportunities you have here to run campaigns. There's so many different variations. You can do desktop or mobile or both, or Canada or Australia or US. There's just a lot of different ways to do this. Do you set up different publishers, or do you keep it for all publishers? Yes. So Jake, with MGID, unfortunately, you can't like upload a list of publishers like you can with Rev Content. But what you can do when you get into once you start getting traffic, you can come over here and go to selective bidding, and there'll be a whole list of placements where you can see their publisher or widget ID, and you can turn them off. So you can blacklist, but you can't upload a whitelist, meaning you can't upload or you can't pick to just advertise on certain placements. You're basically advertising to a category. You can pick the country and all the stuff we talked about. But from there, you basically just have to weed out the ones you don't want your ad shown on, and that's where volume comes in handy. And it's important and it's necessary to be successful, because you can, like I said, you can pull up your campaign widget ID and then see which ones are bringing you clicks, which ones are getting bad click-through rates, and it'll show the widget ID right here. So you get that widget ID from here, you go back over to the selective bidding and you find it, and then you go and just turn it off right there. And so then you're done with that placement. Your ad won't ever show there again. You won't waste any more money there. That's how you cut out loss and how you scale the winners. Do you have a certain amount of days that you wait until cut it off when not doing good? Rita's asking. That's a good question. And I'll probably talk more about that next week. So with $50 a day, what's 7 days? That's $350. I like to get, if somebody at 10 cents a click, if I've spent $10 and haven't gotten a conversion, at first I'm not really looking just for conversions. I'm going to look at click-through rates on my landers. That's the tell sign right there if the publisher or the widget is performing. If the click-through rate's really low and I spent like $10 there, sometimes even $5, I'm turning it off, because I don't want to waste any more money on that. If they haven't gotten me anything, my clicks are that low and I'm driving, usually if I can get 100 visitors there and something isn't happening, then I'm going to go in and turn it off. But again, I'll talk more about that next week, because I'll be able to show you on screen here some of the results. All right, Alex asking, if we set up our ad and MGID with $50 per day budget, 10-cent cost per click, will we eat up all $50 each day? And when should we stop the ad if we aren't getting any conversions? So you will absolutely eat up $50 each day. That's without a doubt. When should you stop if we aren't getting conversions? If you do this right, that's part of why I wanted to do this in the first session and get all of this in here. This is the most important part, guys. Please, if you don't take nothing away from tonight, before you go back and watch anything tomorrow in the recording, just do this first. You have to get this part right here. Don't worry. Don't like get into the mindset like, oh, okay, well, I don't really like that picture. I bet I can find a better picture than that to use, or that headline seems, pretty stupid. I want to make up my own headline. I'm telling you right now, you will not make money. If you want to do this successfully and make money quickly, spend time researching this right here. This is it. These are the performing ads right now. Again, I don't have this set right, but spend time in Adstrax using the targeting that I told you to use. Pick MGID, pick ClickBank, sort it by date last seen, change the ad strength, make it, to where you're only showing really good ads. And that's how you find winners. That's how you find winning campaigns. With MGID, you're not going to know where they're bidding. So you're not going to get a profitable campaign right off the bat. It's likely to happen, because it happens to me quite a bit, but it's not guaranteed to happen. What you're going to have to do is constantly go into volume, and just look at your reports. So let me show you how to run the report again. Let me go back to home. So this is your dashboard when you log in. This is what you're going to see. Go to campaigns, and I'm going to click on my campaign, and I'm going to click report. Again, there's not going to be any data here, because the ad's not even approved yet. You leave that set to offers, that's fine. And then you click this first choose grouping drop down. Click widget ID. Click apply. Then you can, you want to select the time frame. It depends on when you're looking at your report and when you looked at it last. And what it's going to show you is your offer, and then there's going to be a little drop down arrow, and it's going to be of all kinds of widget IDs right here. Each one will be like a row of a table. and you can see how many visits you got from that widget, how many clicks that widget sent you, if there are any conversions. And then way over here is your CTR. This is the important column for figuring out whether or not a widget needs to be turned off or not. If your CTRs are less than 10%, you want to watch it closely. If they're in like the below 5%, and you've had, and you spent, $5 to $10, I would consider turning those widgets off. And again, you do that by going into, this is your kind of what you're going to see when you log in. You go to your campaign and you click on selective bidding. And from here, you want to make sure your date range is good. You're going to see all your widgets and all the stats from those widgets over that course of a period of time. And, in volume, you'll find the widget ID you want to turn off. It's going to be like a 7 or 8 digit number. And you have to find it in NGID, and you go over and there's a little on-off toggle switch. You can just click it once and it'll turn it off and your ads will never run on there again. So that's kind of how you determine when to stop the ads, or if you're not getting conversions. It's not on the campaign. Don't stop your campaign. Stop it on a per widget basis. But again, I probably wouldn't touch anything for at least 2 days, maybe 3 days, because you're not going to get that much data in each widget. Initially, you're probably going to see that there's 1 or 2 widgets getting the most clicks for you, and sometimes that's good, and sometimes it's bad. It just depends on the widget. Terry's asking, can you start with the ClickBank offer and find out how it does in Antrex? Yeah, you could do that. I wouldn't suggest doing that initially, though. So, what Terry's saying is to kind of start from scratch here, get rid of all this stuff. Let's find, go to Marketplace. And we'll just click here to see the top offers. Battery one is a pretty good one. It's one of my favorite ones, actually. So we'll type battery. And I guess we should keep ClickBank in there. So Terry, see, the problem with this is it's still kind of the same thing. Like, you can start by typing in battery or even the name of the offer, like battery reconditioning, I think it's called. But the problem with this is that you're kind of limiting yourself to only seeing what you've searched for. You're losing out on all these other opportunities that you probably don't know about. That the flat belly fix. So that's actually like a really high converting offer, and I don't know. Well, last I knew, it wasn't even in the top 20. Oh, it is in the top 20 now, so it's up there now. So that's how I figure out what are in the top offers at ClickBank. I just go to the marketplace and click the search button without typing anything. But you're going to miss out on a lot of other things that are converting that maybe aren't necessarily one of the top offers in ClickBank. So you can do it that way, but you can see here that I didn't find a whole lot. If I back out and just go to battery, there was more there. But you can see this one, not too bad. This is on Rev Content. So you can also see where these are running, like on different networks. Content.ad is another place I run. So yeah, I mean, you can do it that way as well. how much do you budget for each campaign? Michael is asking. Obviously I start with $50 a day, and I don't increase that until I've weeded out the losers. If I want to get like incredibly fast results, then I'll bump it up to $100 a day. But budgeting, I like $500, honestly. I can get a really good, really good amount of test data for $500, and typically I can pretty much break even on that with MGID, and using Anstrix like this. Can you touch on correlation between cost per click and placement with publisher? I honestly, with MGID, I honestly don't know, John, how that works. They are kind of secretive, probably not on purpose. It's kind of like an outdated type platform. But obviously, like usually the way it works is more so with native ads, it's your click-through rates. The higher your click-through rates are, the better the placements you'll end up being on, because you're performing better for the network. You're going to get more clicks, which in turn means more money for them. So click-through rate is really, and that's click-through rate of your ad, guys. I'm sorry. Let me explain that. So there's two different click-through rates in this game here. There's a click-through rate of your ad. So somebody is on a website, we'll just say like, I don't know, Forbes.com. They're browsing through, reading content, and they see your ad, and they click your ad. And maybe 1 out of 100 people click your ad. So that's a 1% click-through rate of your ad, and that'll show up in here under your CTR. The other click-through rate is when people land on your page, your landing page, and they click this landing page button, and they go to the ClickBank offer or whatever offer you're promoting. That's the click-through rate that we are going to track inside of volume right here. So there's two different CTRs that you got to be worried about. All right, Barry's asking, could I just use my Fiverr developer to make a lander for me rather than using a lander builder service to make landers? Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you can, any way you want to do it, Barry, with HTML is cool with me. And like I said, with Anstrix, if you're just going to swipe somebody else's, it's super easy from just doing it from inside there too. Can we start campaigns after today's session, or should we wait for the later trainings? I would prefer you guys start as soon as you want. I mean, as soon as you can, because I want you guys to start making money as quickly as possible. I don't want you waiting for 6 weeks, to even start anything, because then you're going to forget everything we've learned. So I would prefer, obviously not tonight, sleep on it, get through the day wherever you're at in the world. And, the next day, go back and watch this recording, set it up step by step, however way you want to, go about it, whether it's your own hosting and HTML templates, or it's ClickFunnels, whatever that is. Get started though. And when you get started, guys, you're going to make mistakes. That's how you learn. You're never going to learn anything by sitting there and reading and waiting for the next shiny object to land in your inbox. Yeah, so Alex is saying, going through Anstrix, it appears there are only 3 or 4 ClickBank offers that are running successfully with native ads. That certainly helps us to narrow things down. That's true, but not necessarily true. If you're only looking on MGID, then maybe so. But when you get into Rev content, and you get into AdBlade is another one, Content.ad is another one. Guys, these are, there's literally at least, let's see, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 different ad networks that I would recommend for affiliates, and that's what we're going to get into when we go to scaling. But look at this battery offer. This battery offer doesn't show up when you in MGID. There's no reason this battery offer wouldn't run in MGID. Oh, there is somebody running it. That's a really crappy ad, but there is somebody in MGID doing it over here too. Let me see what they're doing here. This might even just be the product owner running this. So they're direct linking, guys, straight from MGID. But this was from January 2017. It only ran for like, whatever that is, 8 days, 9 days. But I can tell you guys this, well, and look at these other ones though. These are, this battery offer crushes it on Facebook. I mean, there's guys doing 5 figures a day promoting this battery offer as an affiliate. So once you go through this process and learn how to do this, this is like a totally new traffic source that affiliates have no clue how to use. What I'm showing you guys here is something that you can get paid a good amount of money for. $2,500 a month is what I charge my clients to just to do this stuff. You don't even have to spend your own money. Once you know how to do this, this is a skill that other people are desperately looking for and willing to pay you lots of money to do this. DK, wouldn't it be great if you turn off a widget ID and volume, which would automatically turn it off in MGID? There are tools out there that they're very, very expensive. But if you are spending thousands of dollars a day, one of them is called Brax, B-R-A-X, and it integrates with all of the native networks, and you can set it to automatically turn off widgets, placements, publishers based on your CPAs. So if your CPA drops below drops or goes above $5, it'll automatically turn it off and optimize it for you. There's other ones too that these things are like $1,000 a month tools. All right, Barry is asking if I'm running a campaign and after spending $5 to $10, see it's a loser and turn it off. How does that work if there's a $50 per day minimum ad spend? Barry, I wouldn't do that because you're not getting a good cross section of the traffic by only spending $5 to $10. It's just not how this game is played. It's not like Facebook or Google AdWords where a click is a click is a click. It's not like that because some publishers are good, some publishers are better, and some publishers are complete garbage. And that's just the honest truth. New publishers pop up every day. They pretend to provide good content to users when all they're really doing is trying to make advertising money, and they've got bots that they've created to go and click on your ads, and those bots are never going to spend any money with you. So part of the native ad game process is manually weeding out those bad publishers so that you don't waste your money on those clicks anymore, that your money is only being spent towards publishers who are bringing you valid and high quality prospects. On domains, do you suggest we use our name or something else? I have a couple domains with my name and a special one I was going to use with sell affiliate products. Would blah, blah, blah sound strange or stick to my name? I wouldn't use your name, Rita. Personally, I'd just pick something very generic. So something along the lines of like daily, whatever it is. It can be, just look at the names that some of these other people use. Most of these guys probably aren't even using a landing page. No, this has to be the guy running this. This guy is just using a lead pages page. Yeah, they're all direct linking. Honestly, you don't have to put that much thought into it. It can be anything. Where do you spend most of your ad budget? MGID or content.ad? MGID and Rev content are where most of my money is spent. I do some on content.ad, but I've noticed that lately their traffic has gotten worse. Uh, I don't know why. It's kind of a mix between their prices going up, but also their quality just seems to be worse. All right, Alex, and I would like to start with Flat Belly Fix campaign within the next 2 days and come back with some data. Sounds good to me. Hit me up with it. Show me some screenshots. I'm happy to help you optimize it. Would you mind showing us in a later session, maybe near the end, what you're doing to attract clients and selling this as a service? Who are you targeting and why? Alex, I might, we'll see. I guess it depends on how. I haven't even put an entire outline together for this, but I'm happy to talk to you about it kind of offline too if you want more info on that sooner rather than later. Okay, guys, I got one more question in here. Put your questions in there if you got them tonight, and I'm going to wrap this thing up. If not, I've got you everything you need to know to get your first campaign, your first native ads affiliate campaign up and running and making you money. So got some more questions, throw them in there. I'm happy to answer them tonight. If not, I will, we'll get this last one answered here and we'll be done. I understand this is an affiliate course, but during the 6-week course, will you be talking about using these ideas to sell our own product? This is what Jim's asking. Yeah, Jim. So basically I've done this exact same process to sell our gardening stuff, and I've done it the exact same way. Truthfully, I've done it from ad to landing page exactly like this, and then to our $7 offer page, our $7 ebook sales page. So it's the exact same process. I don't send them to a squeeze page. I don't send them straight to a sales letter. I send them straight to a landing page like this because I want to qualify them and get the best traffic. So if you do have more specific questions maybe about your product or something we can talk about later on, I'm happy to answer that. Because for sure, I want to be able to help you guys if you're promoting your own products as well. So, okay, guys, that's all the questions I have. Thanks for attending live. Everything will be put into the members area as soon as possible. If you guys didn't get a link to the members area, please email me. I'll get you hooked up. As soon as this recording's done, I'm going to upload it and get it put on the site, and then I'll get you everything we talked about tonight. So the landing page templates, the ClickFunnels share link, and the ClickBank postback PHP page, so you can connect volume to ClickBank. So if you've got anything else before our next session, let me know. And I will be sending out an email, kind of a reminder, as well as a registration link for the rest of, the next session, session 2. So if you have any questions before then, please feel free to shoot me an email. And again, I'm going to get you guys the info on the bonuses that you've got tomorrow morning too as well. So sorry I haven't gotten that to you yet. And I hope you guys have a great night. Good night.